Hi everybody, this is my blog called December Isn't Real. Oh, you can subscribe to it. Ah, make sure to subscribe from the bottom corner. I didn't know you could do that, that's cool. Entry number 5, 22nd of May 2024. It's good to see you again, Sarah. And if it's your first time, then welcome to the communion. Last week marked the 1-year anniversary of my album To Take a Life, and wow, time went by too fast. This blog originally focused on why and how I choose release dates for my projects, but instead we explore the potential dangers of becoming an online creator. Here's my favourite song from To Take a Life. It's not relevant to this week's blog anymore though. This blog originally focused on my last album and why and how I choose release dates for my projects, but a far more important topic arose from the conversation: internet safety. Navigating the online art world. I've been on the internet for 17 years now, and in that time I've seen a smattering of artists, both successful and obscure, rise, fall, plateau, stagnate, and fizzle out. For every major band announcing their newest tour to an active audience in the thousands, there are dozens of solo artists performing one final set at their local pub to a warm reception of close friends and distant acquaintances, hanging up their hat after a decade-long attempt at their 15 minutes. There are artists who didn't find an audience and stopped creating, only for something of theirs to gain popularity years after the fact. And artists who once found their spotlight but have since lost passion. There are artists who faded into quiet contentment, satisfied with their contributions to the media sphere, appreciating the legacy they've created, even if they're sometimes melancholy at the prospect of little more to come. And then there are the artists that grew bitter and desperate, who pass blame to others and are content to believe that it was the world who left them behind. Navigating the online art world and surviving solely from it is incredibly difficult, nigh impossible for many. There is simply too much talent in the world for it all to be recognised at once. Most people do not find success here. Success in the monetary sense, mind you. It's not the only definition, though it is the most likely one that you'll conjure. There is no system that serves everybody equally. Many artists go their entire discography or gallery largely undiscovered, though this line of thought raises some interesting questions. Would it be ideal for everyone to be recognised for their talent? Is there a downside to that? We're already trapped in an online web of ego and flaunt as it is. Would it ever be healthy or beneficial to the landscape of digital art and those who participate in it to have this praise? Is there even enough recognition in the world to support such a premise? Regardless, there is more to fame and glory than most first consider. You probably won't find success, sorry. And if you do, it'll only lead to more problems. This section isn't meant to be disheartening, as it isn't born from negativity. Perhaps the most important and difficult lesson to learn before becoming a digital creator is that talent does not guarantee an audience. You could be the prettiest model, design the most brilliant contraptions, bake the tastiest bread, have the most transcendent voice, and still not find success. It's not fair, but life really isn't designed to be. And I believe if you're posting your art online with the sole intention to make money, then you're already in it for the wrong reasons. Obviously not if it's like your job or something. I refer to your personal art and means of expression. A healthier goal is to create art for yourself, and not tie it to your self-worth or chase distant dreams of parties and profit. There's also not enough attention directed to the negatives of posting art online. When your art becomes public, you must be aware of the risks that accompany it. Some people refuse to face this next part, but it is absolutely vital to remember. You won't get somewhere just because you have demonstrable skill. You won't get somewhere just because you have good intentions. You won't hear what you want to hear. You likely won't hear anything at all for a little bit. For an especially unlucky few, your work will be stolen, leaving you to watch on helplessly as months of your effort reap success for someone else in your stead. It's also possible to be bullied into silence over this injustice even then, and disrespected further. Odds of this happening aren't high, but they're never zero. And then there's other risks that I definitely forgot about. Lots of bad people in the world are looking to make a quick buck off the backs of someone else's hard work. I believe that it's healthier to instead focus on your art itself and what you want it to mean, than to focus on where or what it can get you. I don't make music to get popular. I actively avoid trends, remix competitions and covers, all things that would help to bolster my numbers and increase my reach. It's not out of contempt or snark, but pure lack of interest. While it most definitely benefits me to keep some form of consistent online presence, I'm not here to become a product or a brand. A harsh truth you should immediately come to terms with is that it is highly unlikely you will ever be able to turn your passions into a sustainable and profitable venture, regardless of what they are and how much talent you might have. Trust me, I was trying this for the better part of 2 decades across multiple different areas of media production, but I stopped when I realized just how much I didn't want what I thought I did. Listen closely. Your best case scenario is secretly terrifying. For many people, wealth and fame and glory are the big motivators. But think about it, like really think about it, for literal hours. I mean it. Have you ever actually considered just how different your life would be if you became a person of public influence? Do you want to open yourself up to harassment and stalking, predatory fans and unhealthy addictions, grinning managers and dark-suited executives, unrepresentative sponsorships and shallow brand deals? Do you want to unknowingly become the face of a company? Do you want to advocate for products you don't fully believe in? Do you want an audience of people telling you saved their lives? Are you prepared for your every move and decision to be documented in painstaking detail? Would you fare well knowing your past mistakes could inevitably become public trivia? Are you prepared to be subjected to widespread rumours and lies and deal with lawyers versed in practices you're entirely oblivious to? Could you handle a world-class scandal? Could you handle a death threat? Now, could you handle 20,000 death threats? How would you cope with a representative of your team abusing or taking advantage of you and your audience? Are you willing to forfeit the safety, privacy, and well-being of not just yourself, but people you care about, and put you all at risk of becoming a target to bad people? Sarah forbid, if something came of all this, could you live with their blood on your hands? Would you be able to defend yourself when past friends or family members come out of the shadows and attempt to bargain for some of your glory? What will become of your identity? Do you believe the potential benefits of fortune outweigh all the potential risks? Would you be truly content to accept all of this and more as part of the job? Because remember, this is what your best case scenario could come with. Popularity can be dangerous. It's worth asking yourself if you truly want it. Another thing to consider is the ramification of your passion becoming your job. Do you think you'd still enjoy creating if you were contractually obligated to? An impossible question to answer, maybe. It's one that persists from industry to industry, and one that changes depending on who you ask. Yeah, we got a bit heavy there, didn't we? Let's make it a bit lighter from here. So you probably won't find success, sorry, but too many impressionable people rush into situations they're not prepared for, and find themselves worse off for it. It is better to make what is truly yourself, and follow your own example, than to climb to lofty heights with reckless abandon. Of course, this is not to say you can't or shouldn't have aspirations, just that there is a healthy balance to make note of. I don't want to discourage you from pursuing an online career. I just want you to remember how delicate your position is on the platforms you're part of, and remind you that your safety is more important than your image. Why post anything online at all then? Because art is more important than money or status? You should make art because you're passionate about it, and you should share art you're passionate about so it can resonate with other people. You shouldn't idolize contributing to a machine that doesn't care about you, nor should you want to become a symbol for a cause that doesn't represent you. Chasing wealth and materialism does not necessarily lead to contentment. A life of security and peace is infinitely more fulfilling than one of mindless trend-hopping and exhaustively regurgitating stagnant media. I'll talk about why I make art in next week's blog post, and link it here. I haven't done that yet. You should make art for yourself and for people who might need it. You should make art because you love it. You should make art, full stop. So move your ass, kid. This all leads to another type of artist, the ones who don't realize they're artists. I've known so many people with an intense ambition to create art, yet who never find themselves starting. It's always so frustrating to see when someone with a goal they want to achieve doesn't pick up the pen, download the software, or purchase the materials, whatever it is. The most fascinating thing about living in this digital age, where knowledge is free and opportunity is everywhere, is that who knows what you could create if you put your mind to it. You live in a magical time where it's equally as possible to become an internet sensation as it is to practice knitting and start a business for homemade animal sweaters, and find modest success from each. Do not wait for a wake-up call, just bloody start. All progress is good progress. I'm sorry for getting preachy here, I'm just really fucking tired, dude. Tired of seeing wasted potential. Tired of seeing garbage content thrive. Tired of wondering if art is dead and sloth has won. I want so desperately to inhabit an online world where talent equates to success, and success doesn't mean money. We are tainting the foundations of the future of our race and actively destroying the very notion of human creativity itself. And the worst part is, very few people seem worried. If anything, the majority of people you encounter online are nothing but eager to become the next big artist, YouTuber, or what have you. And this economy of access is entirely encouraged by many. This is insane to me. We're not just tying the noose, we're manufacturing the rope and handing it out with a smile. Anyway, a bit of a dour way to end the blog, I'm sorry. I want to hold on to the hope that things will change before it's too late. So, I will. I'm just scared. The topics we discussed today weren't pretty, but too many people don't take their safety seriously, and it's led to a handful of examples far uglier than anything I mentioned. If nothing else, I hope I made you reevaluate your motives and question what you truly want out of your time in the online space. Please be safe and never stop creating. Warm, happy, healthy, the Nomad Communion.